2 years ago, the people of Georgia showed the power of protest. In just 2 days, they forced their government to back down from a controversial foreign agents bill. This bill targeted media and organizations receiving more than 20% of their funding from abroad, labeling them as agents of foreign influence. Critics saw it as a move straight out of Putin's playbook. Ana Tavazde, one of the tens of thousands who took to the streets, remembers the fierce fight. We fought it off like hell, used every instrument at our disposal, she recalls. But that victory was short-lived. In May of last year, the Georgian government revived and passed the bill, despite massive opposition. The ruling Georgian Dream Party, fresh from claiming victory in a disputed October election, delayed Georgia's bid for EU membership until 2028. This sparked another wave of protest. Ana was back on the streets, joined by thousands of her fellow citizens. The government's response was swift and harsh. Water cannons, mass arrests, and a police presence bolstered by unidentified masked men. The protest movement is now approaching its 3rd month, and the situation remains tense. Multiple opposition politicians have been publicly beaten, and over 300 protesters allege beatings, torture, and ill treatment at the hands of law enforcement. Amnesty International has raised the alarm, but the Georgian government remains silent, refusing to comment on these allegations. Georgian Dream has been in power since 2012, but the recent crackdown feels like a rapid shift towards authoritarianism. Lincoln Mitchell, a political analyst and former advisor to Georgian Dream, observes this change. As late as February 2024, you could argue they weren't really pushing democratic reforms, but they were leaving people alone enough to win the election, he notes. Today, almost a year later, you would say this has become a really nasty authoritarian regime. Georgia, a country with aspirations of joining the European Union, now finds itself in a struggle to maintain its democratic values. The young generation, particularly active on platforms like TikTok, is leading the charge for change. But with the government showing no signs of backing down, the future remains uncertain. So what's next for Georgia? Can the voices of its people overcome the growing authoritarian grip? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear. The fight for democracy in this small nation is far from over. Stay tuned and stay informed. This is a fight that matters not just for Georgia, but for all who believe in the